got
wait.
my
Where do
pass.
we want to start from? Do we want to start from introducing Nate, or do we
Let's
want to
just start
start
from the
with?
top because we messed up that last one.
Yeah. So start from the beginning. All right. Live. Hi, everybody. Oh wait. Are we live?
We should be. Yeah.
Hi,
Sorry about
hi
that.
everybody, and welcome to System.Debug Reboot.
Reboot. You're ready.
Reboot. You've got me, Megan Broadkey. You have the infamous RJ, and you have our new, latest, fantastic addition to the group. Our co-host NAH, Nathan Paprika Pepper. Say hi.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome, NAH. We're so happy to have you here joining us.
Nice. I'm glad to be here. Privileged. Thank you.
Do you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Well, I like long walks on the beach and candle-lit lunches. Yeah, I got into Salesforce stuff, 10 years ago now almost, after being an Excel temp out of college. And it was great. I mean, first, the whole admin dev route. And yeah, I'm in the LA area. And just, I'm sure more layers of the onion will be peeled back as we go on. But yeah, it's just me. I've always kind of been into computers as a kid. I started learning HTML 1.0 back in 6th grade and like, this is kind of gross. And just dove back into it when I graduated college. And was doing Excel VBA for 2-3 years. And when I got a job as an Excel guy at a company that started using Salesforce, I just ate it up. It was just so much easier than Visual Basic or just anything else I'd ever seen. So, and then now here I am, podcasting with Megs and RJ. So,
nice.
Yeah, I like it. That's a good story. That's a good what do you call that? Hero's journey.
Yeah.
Or origin story.
My trailhead story. My trailblazer story.
The trailblazer story.
Yeah.
I like it.
The lightning version. Lightning fast.
Well, we're very happy to have you here. So thank you for joining us. And our topic today is Dreamforce and getting ready for Dreamforce, preparing for Dreamforce, all of the Dreamforces and the Dreamforce stuff that you do and the people you meet and the fun you have. There's just so much related to Dreamforce to get ready for. I know that I will be at this year's Dreamforce. And then RJ, will you be making it this year?
I will not, but I'm wondering if Nate's going to be making it at all because I think he just.
Yeah.
What happened? Did he just fall out of his chair? I don't know where he
went.
Well,
I mean, to be fair, this isn't the I went to Dreamforce podcast. It is the getting ready for Dreamforce.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Why don't we start with how many? Oh, here we go. Meg, you'll like this.
How much Dreamforce swag do you have?
Whoa, I think you and I are masters.
Speaking of which, I think, one of the first things we should touch on is, so Megan, should I bring a completely full backpack and suitcase to Dreamforce with no room for anything else to come home with?
That is probably not the best idea. When you are at Dreamforce, you're going to be getting so much swag, so much stuff to take home. Yeah. Save a little room in your suitcase so you don't have to buy a bag while you're there or end up giving up your swag on the last day. Because that is something you don't want to do. The stuff is treasured, dude. What's the lifetime opportunity?
I think there is. Have you seen... I know that in the past, 3, 4, maybe more years, there is a nonprofit or charity partner where in the Howard Street Park, they like one year it was the Red organization. There is usually not only a booth or some sort of like big setup for kind of a featured nonprofit to go and buy books to donate to children. or give money, time, or stuff to a cause. I think I've seen swag givebacks where it goes to organizations, right? You seen?
Yeah, you can donate your swag, donate your backpack, your water bottles, things like that, rather than throwing them away or having just an extra that you're never going to use.
Yeah.
Think about it. If you're not going to be taking your stuff back with you, or if you're not going to be using it when you take it home, think about giving it to a good cause. Plenty of people out there where you could help with back to school supplies, or clothing, lots of t-shirts and things like that. So great opportunity to give back while you're
I've
at
been trying to
Dreamforce.
get the cape away. It's just not working.
That's because you look so styling. Nobody wants to stop
Like,
you
no,
from
please,
having
you
it.
know that. Yeah.
But even taking a step back from before you're at the Dreamforce grounds, making sure you're prepared for Dreamforce is extremely important.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times if it's your first Dreamforce, you may think, I'm going to make sure I have a bunch of business cards. I'm going to bring my laptop. I'm going to have, I'm going to make sure I dress up every day. Dreamforce isn't always the most fancy, dressy uppy place unless you're one of the salespeople that's going to be wearing a suit every day. A lot of people are wearing their Salesforce swag, super casual. Think about saving some trees, and rather than putting, business cards, photos, badges, exchange your Twitter handles,
LinkedIn
or
QR code.
sweet, sweet stickers. So you're getting a benefit while you give out your information.
Yes.
So lots of things to plan for there, but you've got to remember not all that stuff randomly can happen on the last day. Some of those you got to make sure that you order in advance. You're going to meet a lot of people, so just making sure that you're ready to meet all those people. And are you ready do you have your phone charged so you can get all their information into your phone? If you're going to be writing their information down, do you have a pen with you? Do you have your phone charged? Otherwise, you're going to be me asking everybody, do you have a charger or battery that I can plug my phone into because it's dead again?
Then you're gonna be stuck next to a wall the whole entire time.
Yeah,
just
you're gonna be
charging
camping
your
out on
phone.
the floor. Which can be like, I remember one time I was camped out in like the beanbag area on Moscone West second floor, and it was kind of nice to just decompress for a little bit. But yeah, I mean, if there's sessions that like, oh shoot, that meant I missed the open source at Salesforce session, or the how to make an SFDX plugin is something that you really like. Yeah, maybe you could watch the video later, or you could look up, but you want to go there so that you can ask the question, right? And then you're on the video, and you get to guide the session a little more, and do the post session stop and chat, right? Like, how many cool post session stop and chats have you had, Meg?
And speaking of sessions, making sure you are registered for your sessions in advance and that you have gone through the agenda builder and picked those out. Make a list, bookmark all the ones that you couldn't get into. There's space for walk-ins at most sessions, so that when you get there and you're one of the people that's at the front of the line, you can be in that walk-in line and still catch those sessions you didn't get a register for. So bookmark those and do that sync with my Google Calendar for your sessions so that you can have those on your calendar and not have to sit there. You don't have to do it manually. Sync it with your Google Calendar, your Outlook calendar, your iCal, all of those. Use the features available to you.
And I haven't looked at the agenda builder this year because I'm probably not going. But is there a way to filter by all of the theater ones? Remember, like our session last year was in a theater. Those are great backups for, like, let's say you're on the wait list for a session in one of the Moscone rooms. You can always bookmark one of those theater sessions. Like, oh darn, I didn't get into this. Cool, I can head out over outside, and there's usually, like, each floor there's at least 3 or 4 theaters where they have just open. You can just stand in the back and watch it for 30 minutes.
Absolutely. And then making sure, that you've planned where your sessions are. Sometimes you get two great sessions that are right next to each other back to back. But if you've somehow got to get from the Scony West all the way over to the Palace in 5 minutes, that's not going to happen.
And would you say it's better to dip out early of previous session than to show up to other session late?
I would at
Good question.
first check to see if there's another session that you could go to.
Yeah.
See if it's a duplicated session, if you have another option. Otherwise, man, I don't know. It all depends on what types of sessions they are. I would honestly say try to catch the recording, and the sessions at Dreamforce. This isn't your only chance to catch them, which is a great advantage if you're one of the people that can't go. You don't have to miss Dreamforce. A lot of the keynotes are going to be live, and then on top of that, sessions are recorded, so you can catch them later. So even though I wanted to attend 10 bajillion sessions a day, there's only so many hours in a day. And most of the sessions I wanted to see seem to all be at the exact same time on top of each other for some reason.
That's always fun.
Right? It's always that way. So making sure to catch those recordings is important, which is also a great reason to bookmark, so you know to go back and check those out.
Yeah, real quick, sorry to anyone who's watching the stream and I'm messing it up right in the middle of it. I'm trying to make sure that I have plenty of bandwidth because I know Nate was kind of cracking up a little bit, so I was killing some of my tabs, and that jumped right in the middle of our stream because I'm awesome at this new streaming software that we're using. So, wonderful. But anyway, sorry, just a little intermission there. Just wanted to tell everybody sorry. But
Also,
yes. Oh, sorry.
Are they
Go
still
ahead.
doing all sessions, like most sessions on? I forget what company they use. Not Vidyard. Somebody. Are they doing pretty much every session on YouTube after?
So last year, somewhere on YouTube and somewhere on that Salesforce recording. Yeah. So I'm not sure where they're gonna end up being this year. But yeah, knowing that they're recording is a great way to make sure that you don't overdo it on the sessions.
Yeah.
Do they have like a specific site that you can go to for their recordings for Dreamforce? Like, is that on the Dreamforce site itself?
It is on the Dreamforce site. You can click to it from each session.
And on YouTube, they're pretty good about having lists, but again, on YouTube, it's easier to find the keynotes and the white papery stuff, and not so much like Meet the Developers. Or although I didn't even know they recorded Meet the Developers ever, which is if you're a dev and you're looking for a session, that's been my favorite session pretty much every year, is where you get to listen to all the product managers talk about, and it's very. I think the Q&A, it's really mostly a Q&A. Just don't come and complain about why is there no trigger on account contact relation or something. Although no, please do it, because then Steve CTO will bag on you, and that's almost as fun as getting some honest feedback about road mapping. It's double safe harbor, because they're the people that are planning the roadmap for what may happen a year or 2, 3 out. But yeah, that's been my favorite one. But even that's been recorded. But you definitely, it's a lot easier to find videos of the keynotes and kind of a lot of those higher level videos than it is the deep dives. So I think the Dreamforce site's going to be a better place to dig in to get that video, the session that you're thinking about looking at.
But it's not all about sessions too. You got to keep that in mind. Going to Dreamforce is about meeting people, going to sessions, and having fun. And especially when you are on a budget, making sure you register for everything just in case is a great way to make sure that you can stop by when you meet new friends. Not that you can't register for most events when you get to the door, but some you have to register in advance.
I definitely recommend booking your calendar, because people will sign up for the wait list. So
Mhm.
I would say err on the side of book yourself completely full with sessions so that if you don't find something else to go to, it's there to go to. But don't be afraid about missing a session that you signed up for if
Yeah.
somebody else tells you about something cool to go to, or you go to the what is it, like the challenges, in the dev
The
zone,
mini hacks. The
the
mini hacks.
yeah,
Yeah.
little hack zone.
And
Um,
your plans are going to change. Especially if you do a ton of sessions in your schedule, you're going to have your schedule change.
yeah.
You're going to run into people. You're going to meet, partners. And you're going to end up spending a little bit of time at the booths. You're going to spend some time at the expo, wander around, get some swag for yourself so that you can fill that suitcase space up, and have some cool new T-shirts for the next year. And get yourself some stickers and buttons and USB drives and a bunch of pens to write on non-existent paper. But yeah, all very useful.
So let me ask you, Megan, as a Dreamforce pro, like you've been there pretty much every year, right?
Hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna throw this on the screen real quick so everyone can kind of see what I'm going for here. There's a lot of stuff going on at Dreamforce. If you haven't seen the site, there's just 2,700 sessions and workshops. Obama's gonna be there. Tim Cook's gonna be there. Megan Rappin, I have no idea how you say that. Marco, I don't know how you say his. Yo Ma, I know how to say that. So many people are going to be there, right? And there have been people like this before, speakers like this before, thousands of trailblazers, 50 plus visionary keynotes, like all this cool stuff. So what I want to ask you, Megan, is as a Dreamforce expert, right? Where do you want to be? What are you going to be doing? What's your go to?
Yeah. So I am definitely hoping to check out Obama. That I think is going to be fantastic. Talk about a great opportunity to see President Obama. I am also going to be spending some time checking out what is coming up. I love the roadmap sessions, and finding out what is next. Saying what's next for Community Cloud is super exciting for me. The new Experience keynote sounds super cool. Dying to see what is in store there. I've also signed up for a couple of hands-on sessions. I haven't super heavy booked my sessions. I've got a few sessions a day. I've also got some volunteer time, but I've got a lot of time where I'm gonna be, working on networking, spending time, walking around, meeting the Ohana, talking to Salesforce people, talking to partners, and just really getting to know people. I mean, this is our big one time a year that the whole family gets together in San Francisco, and we all get to meet up. And there are people coming from around the world that you don't get the opportunity to hang out with very often. So it's definitely a good time to meet up. I have a lot of one-on-ones planned to meet up with people. Um, but I also do have some super exciting sessions that I dying to go to regarding Salesforce DX, the Community Cloud, deployments, org management, general architecture, etc.
Nice.
Have you ever had a charging case, Meg?
Yeah, I did. I did have a Mophie. It
Okay.
charges slower than my phone goes through battery.
Oh, well, at
Yeah.
least it kind of extends. Yeah, I mean, what? So 2012 was my first year at Dreamforce. Since 2013, I've had a charger case. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, the first day that you're at 20% at noon,
Hmm.
you're
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real. Well, because you're on your phone, like taking pictures of the. Uh,
And the video is,
I'm not going to dissuade anybody from taking pictures of the slide. I love it when people are like, "Oh, I'll leave the slide up there so people can take pictures."
or they, no need to worry. I'll be posting the slide deck when I'm done. It's like, I still want to see it now. I have
Wait,
people that
I
want
need
to
to
fill
take a
back
picture
for
of the
this.
Bitly link. The
Right?
sf.co link. So that
I
I
need
can.
to know what the capitalizations are for later.
That matters. Oh,
But
uh,
yeah,
I've had a
it,
charger case ever since. Yeah, the trick is just don't like come home from that after party and forget to plug stuff in
Yeah.
because you'll be hurting next day more than a hangover if your phone's
And
dead.
it's always fun to go out, but trying to get home a little bit early is always a good idea too, because it's gonna be long days. Don't go out like Monday night, Tuesday night, and spend all your energy there. You're gonna
I
need
mean,
to
even if
last
you're in
through the
your
week.
20s, like you want to be present on Friday, or,
Yeah.
Thursday or Friday, the last day, because it's a lot. It's try to
And
get home
speaking,
by midnight, right? Get home by
yeah,
midnight,
and
12:30.
speaking of Friday after Dreamforce, there is the unofficial end of Dreamforce party, Michael Farrington Cigar Party, which is its ninth year, I think, this year, but definitely a must go to party. Um, highly recommend it if you haven't gone, but it's definitely a who's who fun party to go to and a great way to wind down at the end of the event.
Is that
Lot
a
of
same place?
same place,
Yeah,
the
nice.
Cigar Bar. Yeah.
Got it.
But if you're not at Dreamforce, you can still have fun too. I mean, like I said, there's lots of stuff that's going to be streamed live. There's a lot of stuff to catch up on Twitter. Making sure to retweet, for example, and help retweet some of the stuff for Maravis and keep their information going, and spread the word there for them.
Definitely. Have you ever been inside of a room for a keynote at Dreamforce?
Luke
Wow.
Skywalker.
Oh my God, I've never made it into a room for Dreamforce. I've always been on like the Howard Street lawn park where they've got the big screens, or
Dreamforce
inside of
is
somebody, there'll be a lot of partners that'll invite you to a private screening where they've got, hors d'oeuvres and beverages, and they've got it up on their TVs in a lounge or something, hotel roof or something. But yeah, like I'd say try to make at least one keynote in the room for the experience. But if you're at Dreamforce and you don't go into the room, don't like it's and the main keynote will be playing for the rest of Dreamforce. So don't be afraid if you don't catch the live stream at the park when that's going on. They tend to loop that for the rest
yeah.
of Dreamforce. But also, if you don't go to Dreamforce, you can check in online. I mean, if you're not going to Dreamforce, you could almost be more involved than somebody at Dreamforce.
Because
Yeah.
you can definitely get the big picture view, versus
Yeah.
somebody that's there. And don't forget the global gatherings for Dreamforce that are going on with local user groups. A lot of them will be having that going on afterwards. So definitely something to check out for your local area.
Yeah.
And then I know we've got a little bit over on time, but anything else, RJ, Nate?
You can go ahead, Nate.
I would say before Trailhead, even, I started realizing, hey, wait a minute, I'm going to this, I want to go to this session on continuous integration, like back when it was like the Ant migration toolkit, right? And I realized later, like, oh, there was a session on this last year with a video online. I could have watched the video before I went to the session, like, maybe not go to the session, but watch that and then go to the session to get even more out of it. So I think now with Trailhead and having all those videos online, build your agenda, but then if you're going to go to something, look it up on Trailhead too. Look up the last year's video, the video from 2-3 years ago, and do your homework, because just like a class, right? A class that you really want to take. If you don't do the extra reading, you're just going to get less out of it. So if you're really going to learn, there's so many resources that you can do to like beef up, because the talks are 30 to 60 minutes, unless you're in one of those like 2-hour workshops,
Yeah.
which are cool. I've done one of those.
And I recommend if you really wanna dig into a topic, sign up for one of those workshops. I'm in one of them. I think it sounds exciting. So yeah.
Like if you're an admin and you're like, I want to learn how to write a trigger, do one of those Introduction to Apex 2-hour sessions. You will be hands-on, and there'll be people walking around actually helping you. It's not just going to be like a mic, like, what happened with sharing without sharing. It's really helpful. especially for people starting out.
For sure.
Cool.
Nice. I don't have much to say really. I'm not gonna be there. I'll be at reInvent this year though. So if anyone wants to come hang out with Solemn, please come find me at reInvent. We'll get you into some cool parties. We'll hang out. On the closing side of things, I wanted to try something different since we're doing a version 2.0 kind of reboot here. I was thinking at the end that we could kind of throw our what would you? Nate's got he's ready with the guitar. He's like, I'll do it. Just throw something out there that you're kind of like proud of, that you want people to see or hear about. Like Megan, if you're going to be giving any talks at Dreamforce, which I'm sure you probably are, kind of just like a little self-promotion sort of thing at the end here. So is there anything you guys want to self-promote? Any cool blogs coming out, video series, anything like that?
I'll jump in first. So I'm working on so come and find me at Dreamforce for one. And I'll be all over helping out with a number of things. And I would love to speak to anyone of you that is out there and say hi and have a talk about Salesforce, the platform, whatever. As well as Seattle Wit is currently working on having the second week of December a webinar on community sharing that goes along with a blog mini series that I'm doing about community sharing that goes through each of the different types, from sharing sets through account relationship sharing through Apex, and a few other different types of sharing from community users versus internal users. Super fun. Check it out. Nate?
Nice. I'll put a link to that in the description below as well.
Thank you.
Pointing down. All right, Nate, what you got?
Don't forget to subscribe. I don't know if it's left or right. I'm new to this. I would say, whether or not you're going to Dreamforce, please make sure that you're getting involved with your local community groups, admin group, dev group, women in tech group, a ton, nonprofit, marketing. Make sure you get out. And because this is not a once a year thing, it's not even a twice a year thing. If you're an admin or dev, I find Trailhead DX is, love it, because it's not all there's 200,000 people go to Dreamforce at least.
More.
Yeah. And it's much smaller scale. It's still huge, but it's a lot less suits. A lot more hands-on stuff. So if you didn't make it to Dreamforce this year, you're not going to, I'd say, ask Santa for a gift card to Trailhead DX or Alaska Airlines or Southwest, so that you can make it in March, April. It's in the spring. Springtime. Yeah. But as far as me personally, no, I'm just being a code monkey. So. I did finally put up a blog on Blogspot. I haven't written my first article, but I should be coming. We'll put that below.
Yeah, we'll throw that in the description as well. Exactly. Yeah, see? And we can edit it later too.
And that's it. Yeah. Check out your local community groups.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna wrap up here. Sorry again, everybody, for all the wonderful mishaps in this video. I will graciously edit them out as best I can on the upload, and we will get better at this as we progress. Since Google decided to nix our awesome Hangouts broadcasting. Anyway, you wanna play us out, Nate?
That's about all I got. That's all. Of course, I'm Ryan.
Nice. Where's your cowboy
Thanks
hat,
so
man?
much.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right, guys.
Thank you.